So do you remember yesterday? Well, it was only a day ago. We had so many manufacturers from Mazda, Subaru, Kia, Hyundai posting all-time sales records for the month of March. And some of them the best month ever in the history of the company. I think Lexus had the best quarter one as well in the history of the company. But check out what's happening. Stellantis has seen devastating sales drops. 7 consecutive quarters. We're not going to stop there today. And yes, stay tuned because I am reviewing the new Charger EV. So if you want to see my impressions on it, make sure you are subscribed. But we're not stopping there. Ford is reducing prices post-tariff. What the hell is happening? And here's Volkswagen saying, hey, we need to increase prices because of tariff. Wow, it's so fun to see what these manufacturers are doing. And in the back end, Hyundai and Genesis just came out with a ton of new designs, from the Ioniq 6 to some new coupes. Also, the Nexo is the rebirth of the old Pontiac Aztek, which my neighbors have one. Still running. I mean, they look like they're about 85. They have no desire to get out of that Aztek. Look at that pillowy dash, guys. Can't wait to get to that at the end. If you're excited for today's coverage, hit that like button. And like I said, my name's Kirk. I cover car news every single day. We did a live stream last night talking about the reality of the tariffs, the potentiality of the economy. It was a lot of fun. So I thank you guys coming out last night and rewatch that. It was almost a 2-hour live stream. So rewatch that if you guys missed it. Stellantis is just, even Nissan has been struggling. Nissan has been struggling too, but Nissan posted a gain, not Infinity. That's another fish to fry. Well, you could say that fish has been fried for a long time. Anyways, Nissan even had a gain last quarter, but here is Stellantis, the #1 most disappointing brand in America right now. Is that Charger EV disappointing? Well, wait for my impressions. U.S. sales will fall 7th consecutive quarters. So they're down not just 1 or 2%. They're down 12% as key products such as the Grand Cherokee and the Ram 1500 decline. It was a 7th straight quarterly drop for Stellantis, also contending with lost volume from the Jeep Renegade. People need cheap cars right now. I think the Jeep Renegade, let me pull up into Renegade for you. I don't know how this little Jeep didn't sell in spades. I think it is one of their cutest, most unique designs. I like it in red. I like it in yellow. It is such a fun Jeep. And I mean, here's the thing. If it had a hybrid, it probably would absolutely crush it. And we will get to a hybrid talk from Stellantis here in a little bit. And what was crazy from my understanding is that the previous generation Charger outsold the new Charger. So yeah, the new Chargers are sitting on the lots. Does it deserve to sit on the lots? Like I said, stay tuned for my review. But let's go ahead and look at the individual brands here. Alfa Romeo, down 14%. Chrysler. Okay, why is Chrysler actually positive? If you missed my sales breakdown yesterday, the Sienna, the Odyssey, and the Carnival, where the sales volume on them skyrocketed. There's better availability in the Sienna than we've ever seen on the new hybrid. The Odyssey hit a 6-year high in the month of March, and the Carnival hit best ever March. So minivan sales they're crushing it right now. All right. And that includes Chrysler. Chrysler being, I would say, the least desirable out of the minivans, but I'd still take a minivan. Their V6 minivan's fine. The Pacifica minivan V6. Don't buy the plug-in hybrid. That thing is the most unreliable minivan out on the market. Dodge, minus 50%. Well, when you discontinue your Charger, the gas model, you discontinue, well, what else did they have? They have the Hornet. Is that all they have? I'm trying to think. Fiat. Why is Fiat up? But it doesn't matter. They only sold 500 units. Jeep. Jeep's down 10%. Jeep is the volume seller for Stellantis. And when they're down 10%, not good. When Ram's down 2%, their next volume seller, not good. Maserati, this brand, I get invited to a lot of their events, and I've only been able to attend one. They're typically on the east coast of Florida, and they have beautiful cars, right? Italian. They're going to have beautiful cars. But everyone knows that they depreciate extremely fast, that they're minus 23%. They've only sold 1,300 units so far this year. Stellantis is replenishing its portfolio this year with electric vehicles like the Wagoneer S and Charger Daytona. Don't think they're better vehicles than some of the competition out there. So it sold almost 2,000 of the Charger Daytona, accounting for 65% of Charger sales in the quarter, while Wagoneer S totaled 2,595. All right. And these guys, both of these vehicles are being discounted $10,000, $15,000 last time I saw. Jeep Cherokee replacement will be a hybrid. So I want to pull this up. I'm excited for this vehicle. Jeep needs, I mean, this kind of looks like the Land Cruiser SE. I'll overlay that on the screen. They will have a hybrid, a plug-in hybrid, and fully electric, but it will debut and go into production in Europe first. What the hell? Jeep is an American brand. Are they not even making this in America if it's debuting in the debuting in the European Union? That's really weird. And if it's, here we go. The Melfi plant. Melfi, that's in Italy, right? Yes. The Melfi plant is in Italy. Interesting. It's going to be hit with 25% tariffs. It was slated for 2026 North American launch, but it's put on hold because they're planning to build it in Canada, but with the tariffs, the model's U.S. prospects look grim. So Stellantis is said to be rethinking its product strategy. They have to make this in the United States, in my opinion. All right. But do they have production capacity for it in the United States? Or is anyone talking about it in the comments? All right. People just going nuts in the comments with politics. So, So I'm excited for it if it comes to the United States. So they don't even know. We'd have no idea. And so that's not going to help Jeep. Guys, this model would crush it for Jeep to have an American-made RAV4 hybrid fighter, a RAV4 plug-in hybrid fighter. But the problem is they don't even know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with it because of tariffs. So they're like, oh, we're going to build in Italy, well, tariffs. We're going to build in Canada, well, tariffs. All right. It's not just Stellantis and Jeep, but it's not just them struggling with stuff, but they are struggling the absolute most, seemingly outside of like Jaguar, right? They're outliers. But this is a volume brand. This is a huge brand, Stellantis. Better yet, guys, before we move on to Ford, I just stumbled upon and post, but it's better late than never, and I snuck it into the video for you guys. I just stumbled upon their individual car sales. Now, in their press release, they talk so much about, okay, well, yes, sales decreased, but everything else, they're just rocking. They're like, hey, man, this vehicle's doing well compared to last quarter. This is doing great. This Jeep model's crushing it. Well, I want to look at the sales figures because sometimes those press releases, they don't tell the whole story. They just tell the best parts of the story, at least from maybe an investor's point of view. Wrangler, current year to date, down 1%. So here's the thing. Most of this article talks about month. All right. Yes, we saw unrealistic, unsustainable numbers across the entire automotive industry for the month of March. That wasn't enough to pull the Wrangler out of negative, the Gladiator out of negative, because they're only showing us Q1 sales, and Q1 sales will be identical to year-to-date sales, of course. They're not breaking it down by month, even though they should, because they're talking about month-over-month gains. But I wish we had also like January, February numbers baked in. Cherokee minus 87%. We're just talking about how they don't know what to do with the new Cherokee, how to bring it into America. Grand Cherokee down 11%. Renegade, rest in peace. Gonna miss that cute little Jeep. Should have done better. This vehicle should have been done better. Wagoneer, minus 60%. All right, but we got some Wagoneer S making up for that. And Grand Wagoneer tanking minus 48%. Yowzer. All right, I'm not going to cover their commercial vans. Sorry to burst your bubble. Pacifica still down 2%, but is Voyager packed in there? It is not. Okay, so if you add the Voyager and then they're actually positive. There's your 1% positive. Rest in peace, Chrysler 300. All right, rest in peace, Dart. Viper, they sold a Viper last year. Dodge Hornet, minus 45%. Charger, oh Lord. Charger, minus 90%. Well, they discontinued it, and look, okay, so technically, if you add up the Charger and Challenger together, the old models outsold the new one. But look at this. This used to be about 20,000 units, and they went from 20,000 units to 2,000 units. Whose genius idea was that? 20,000 units to 2,000 units. My head can't even process that. Durango down 10%. Well, the Fiat 500e, is it not even mentioned on here? It's not even in here. I don't know why, because if you go back here, 500e, they mention it on here. Okay, so Fiat went up because of the all-electric 500e. Why are people buying that? Well, my friend and colleague Matt Moran from Matt Moran Roney, Matt Maranowski, he bought and leased a 500e, and it's like $100 and some a month. They're not making money. Fiat is not making money on that car. They're selling volume that's good for the brand, but not like, I don't understand how that would be profitable. You go to California and like Colorado as well, you get more state incentives for leasing that car. It's just absurd. Okay, what's going to happen when the EV tax credit runs up or runs dry, when Trump kills it? That vehicle, they're just going to sit around. Giulia, that car hasn't been updated in eons. I like it, but it feels really, really outdated. It's really small too. It's a European-focused sports sedan. Alpha 4C, beautiful car, discontinued years back. Stelvio, minus 25%. Tonale, well, it's about neutral. That's not good. But its brother, the Dodge Hornet, is down about 50%. Holy balls, guys, not looking good. What's going to save them from this free fall in sales? Surely it's not the new Charger BEV. It's not the new Wagoneer S, the EV. That's not going to save them either. All right. Let's get on to Ford. It's tanking. Meanwhile, here's Ford saying, hey, we're going to offer employee pricing despite the tariffs going into effect. I believe this is going on to like June or something, through June 2nd. This is incredible. What does that mean for you guys if you're getting employee pricing? That's $1,300 off of a Maverick, $3,500 off of an almost a $50,000 Explorer, $7,000 off of a $66,000 F-150. That's amazing. It doesn't matter where these vehicles are coming from. They're still going to give you employee pricing. Now, the only Ford, or I should say, I wouldn't say the only, but the Ford that I'm most interested in is the Maverick Hybrid. And so what did they mention again? $1,300 off of a Maverick? Well, here's the deal. This is a great marketing take, but guess what? I can get $2,000 off of a Ford Maverick right now. Look at what's being advertised in my area. You go to Homestead, get this pretty blue new Maverick. I haven't driven the new Maverick, meaning the refreshed. Here's the old Maverick interior, volume knob, tuning knob, lots of the climate control buttons, and they nerfed it. Yes, we have like prettier screens and stuff, a bigger screen, a different MID, but they've nerfed it. I don't even know, is this the volume knob now? They've moved it down. I hope that's a volume knob, but all the climate control, like a lot of, like if I'm trying to think, the Mustang Dark Horse I drove, I think the climate control is baked into the screen. Not my favorite. The SQ6 e-tron I'm driving right now has it baked into the screen. Not my favorite. Is it a deal breaker? No. But when you talk about a potential truck, a work vehicle like a Maverick, there should be physical climate control. What was wrong with this? Maybe it was too costly. So they're like, all these knobs and buttons, we're going to reduce costs. And look over here. Look at our new screen. It's big and bright and shiny. It's great. New software. And it's supposed to distract you from the lack of buttons and knobs. Not sure. And guys, we go back here. Look at this 24 leftover model. It's $23,000. I think it also looks better than the new model. The lights quite aren't as fancy, but I think it looks better than the new model. All right. And I'm still getting my good knobs. You guys run away with that joke if you want. I like my knobs in a car. Volkswagen, import fee on window sticker as tariffs loom. So I'm not going to get into this too much because this video is getting long. They're stopping the cars that are on rail, and they're slapping new stickers on them that have an import transit tariff. So these cars are getting price hikes before they reach the dealer after they left the plant. Words. Now, why is this happening? Well, these are built in Mexico. The Jetta, Mexico. The GLI I drove was Mexico. The Tiguan, Mexico. I believe the Taos, Mexico. Audi builds a lot of stuff in Mexico too. Guys, they had a great first quarter, Volkswagen. All right. But now with tariffs, so much of their volume comes from Mexico. It's not looking good. So what are they doing? Well, they're slapping these cars. I don't know how much they're doing this, but they're putting this import fee to be added to the destination charge on vehicles assembled outside the United States and has halted rail shipments of vehicles built in Mexico to the U.S. So they can slap a brand new price tag on it. We have our dealers and our customers' best interests at heart, and once we have quantified the impact on business, we'll share our strategy with our dealers. Let's keep our dealers in the dark. Here's Toyota saying, hey, we're not raising prices. Just carry on as normal. We'll see what happens with the tariffs. Yes, they started at midnight, and it doesn't look like there are going to be concessions. With the reciprocal tariffs, which vehicles are not affected by, the reciprocal tariffs could absolutely go down. So that would be on food, clothing, electronics potentially. Those items could go down in tariffs. Cars, though, are seemingly something that Trump does not ever want to bend the knee on. We'll see what happens. All right, let's move on. X Grand Coupe concept and X Grand convertible concept. I feel like Genesis has been for 3 or 4 years now. They've had these flagship coupe concepts and they haven't brought them to the market. It's really unfortunate because they're beautiful cars and I do like this current rendition of it. I think the grille looks good here. They didn't do the stupid light bar Happy Meal sort of thing that goes around the grill. This looks really nice. It looks excellent. It looks premium, upscale. The convertible looks great. This coupe looks great. I mean, it looks a little bit of a muscle car, right? It looks a little bit like the Charger I'm driving right now, which is a coupe. That's not a bad thing, except I have a feeling this would be a better car. It might cost a little bit more. It is a flagship, all right? But this is exciting. Genesis just needs to bring it. I could see that, guys, the convertible, especially where I live, it would be everywhere. It would be out. It would be people that buy Bentley convertibles. They might be interested in something like this. You might be saying, Kirk, you're nuts. No, not where I live. I have the #1 Genesis volume dealer in my town here in Naples. Genesis is huge. I see them everywhere. They're like Lexus models in terms of volume down here. It is nuts. These interiors, okay, that is impressive. Yeah, exactly. If you have an interior like this, are you really going to be missing Bentley? Probably not. All right, so let's look at the convertible interior. It's just really blue looking. Look how much room the back seats have. Yes, it's a 4-seater. That is beautiful. And yes, here's the thing. They're flagships. Who knows what Genesis would charge for these? But they would depreciate fast because they're EVs. All EVs depreciate fast. All right. Speaking of EVs, one of the most efficient EVs I've ever tested is the Ioniq 6. They got rid of the more traditional looking lights for these horizontal, really squinty daytime running lights. The headlights are going to be somewhere down here underneath the body paint. All right. What can we garner from this? Well, let's just look at the bullet points. It's inspired by the RN22E Rolling Lab, which, guys, that's the Ioniq 6N, which I think looks worse than the traditional Ioniq 6. So let me know which one you look like better. I don't mind the looks of it. I think it looks better now than it did when it launched, but that's just personal opinion. Now, if you look in the back here between them, here's the new Ioniq 6. It will be debuted this summer in July. I believe they said July. I say that at the very bottom of the article. Yes, July. I want to look at the interior. They said they've changed a little bit about the interior. New steering wheel. We don't get digital side mirrors. Honestly, it's not going to be that much different. There was really not a lot that needed to be improved last time. But did they improve the touch capacitive panel? I remember that being a bit annoying. It doesn't look like it. So hopefully I can get a chance to drive one of these soon. I also was invited by Hyundai to drive the Ioniq 9, but I already committed to a Toyota event just a couple days after that. And then before that, my parents are in town. So it was just sandwiched in, and it just would have been too much. And it would have been too much time away from my family. So unfortunately, I turned the Ioniq 9 driving event down in Savannah, which is, I think, at the end of this month. However, I will be getting it as a press car and putting the whole family in it and testing it that way. So stay tuned for that. The Nexo, yes, it's more efficient than but it's fuel cell. I don't care. I like the design. Why can't they bring this? Why can't this be the new Tucson? Guys, if this was the new Tucson, I would be going nuts. You know, so many people hate it on the Aztec, and yes, it's ugly. But what was the Buick version of that? Wasn't it like the Rendezvous or something? Yeah, the Buick Rendezvous, which I don't know if it's the Aztec or the Buick version of it. I think this is an uglier car than the Aztec. That's just my opinion. Look at this thing. It's hideous. Absolutely hideous. I don't mind that interior. I kind of miss interiors like that, right? But this thing was worse than the Aztec. All right. Anyways, getting back to the Nexo. Great. It's more efficient, whatever, but it's fuel cell. It's a nothing burger to me. I want this design, the inside and the exterior design, to come to the new, I keep saying Sportage. That's the Kia version or the Kia alternative, but the Tucson. I think it would be awesome. And maybe we can get our hopes up for it. There's more power, there's more acceleration, whatever, right? Give me a hybrid or a range extender on this. And now we're cooking with fire. Whew. Anyways, I think that's all I had for you guys today. Stellantis, yikes. It's looking bad. And the one vehicle I was excited for, well, they don't even know what to do with it because it's made in Italy or it would be made in Canada. And they've all right, I don't blame them not knowing what to do, but come on, bring it to America. And this thing with the right design, this design is sexy, at least from the side profile. It could absolutely take it to the CRV, the RAV4, the Tucson, the Sportage, etc. Crickets. And here's Ford as well saying, we'll just give you a discount. Don't worry about those tariffs. We got a lot of stock. Here's the thing, guys. They have a lot of inventory that they still need to move. So I think that's a part of it. They're not being Mr. Nice Guy. They're kind of are, but they have a lot of inventory. And the fact that the most desirable car, in my opinion, the Maverick Hybrid, there's discounts on them. I want to go buy one. Let me know if you want me to go buy one. It's not the most rational thing to do right now because I got to buy a house, and it's just, I love the Maverick so much. Thank you guys. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.